First, a little shout out to Alberta. Congratulations, guys. You woke up from your drunken stupor and you realized your mistakes and you basically switched it around and got on the right track again. Congratulations. You really deserve it. By the way, Trudeau's reaction here is quite kind of funny. I mean, looking at the faces in the background there. Do they look happy? No, but Justin Trudeau is trying to put a good spin on this, and just listen to him for, a minute or so, as much as you can take him.
I will, as always, work with whomever a province chooses to elect as their premier. I think it's important that we always try to understand that regardless of the order of government you're talking about, we're all serving the same citizens. And Alberta has been through a number of difficult years with the price of oil, with global investments, and that's why we've...
Not to mention a lousy federal government and a pretty poor provincial government to boot, but let's continue.
A significant job of investing in Alberta and supporting Albertans through this difficult time. And as we know, as Canadians, Alberta has support.
How, Justin? How the hell did you help Alberta? How that? You know what? This whole thing, this election, really reflects on you more than the provincial government. But how in the world do you think you helped Alberta? I mean, they're on the verge of separating, quite tell you the truth, because of you, basically.
Canada through some very tough times when their economy was booming, and when they face difficult times, all of Canada will be there for them, and that is going to continue. So I look forward to working with whomever wins the election. I will say, however, that when we talk about a plan for jobs, a plan for growth, a plan for the economy, it is impossible in the 21st century to have a plan for the economy without having a plan for the environment. It just can't.
Okay, so what is your plan? To tax the hell out of us? That's your whole plan? You say that people like Doug Ford doesn't have a plan. He has a better plan than you. Well, how does your plan even reduce emissions? All you're doing is taxing and then giving money back in a haphazard way. I mean, how's that helping anything? How's that reducing carbon emissions?
We know that the only way to build a strong economy for the future is to think about environmental impacts and invest in green technologies, invest in cleaner solutions.
Yeah, every country who's invested in green technologies is now reversing. I mean, you look at Spain, even Germany, they all kind of go, nope, this is not the way to go. In actual fact, a lot of times the emissions have actually gone up in those countries. So until green energy really gets its act in order and becomes viable, it's not a way to, it's a pipe dream. That's what it is for the moment. And when it becomes better serving, then yes, we'll take it in. But all these projects that they did is just a waste of money. It's a waste of taxes, and in actual fact, it relies on more polluting fuels. Like coal is like coming back because of the poor performance of these green energies.
Invest in the kinds of economic opportunities that are coming at it with a changing world, while at the same time we need to make sure we are fighting climate change to ensure that we have opportunities and prosperity in the coming generation.
All right, so before we actually go out and fight climate change, why don't we define what climate change is? Is it global warming? Is it actually global cooling? Because quite frankly, if they actually ever published the temperature, and that is the ambient outside temperature done by a thermometer, not by some scale or by model or by scientists who get their funding by claiming more global warming, then you'll see that in actual fact, nothing's changed. We're not going into global warming.
So we have chosen to put a price on pollution right across the country. And there are conservative politicians.
Again, now they're vilifying carbon dioxide. If anybody looks, and please do, carbon dioxide is pretty much everywhere. It's in the ground. It's in the water. It's in your pop soda. It's in many baking goods. It's practically everywhere. It's never been a toxin. It's never been killed unless it's like in super high concentrations, which is only found in an artificial environment. In actual fact, when they look at scientific data, they actually say that right now, our carbon dioxide level is one of the lowest it's ever been on this planet. Yes, it's just below 400 parts per million. And in the past, it's averaged way higher than that. It's reached 2,000 or even greater. 2,000 parts per million or even greater in the past ages. So, I mean, this whole thing is just a sham. Really is.
Are using taxpayer money to fight a price on pollution in court. They are using your dollars to try and make pollution free again, which makes no sense.
Jason Kenney has stated he will hold a referendum on equalization. How do you plan to deal with that?
Jason Kenney was part of the government under Stephen Harper that negotiated the current formula on equalization. I think that's a question to ask him. If he was fine with the current equalization formula when he was in government, why is he choosing to play politics with it now?
Anyway, there you go. That last point I have to look up. I'm not really interested in that. That's, a small point. It's just, if you're going to ruin an economy, don't start blaming it on other people. Thanks for watching.